your wishes and your concerns, then you want to make sure have two different people appointed, right? So that could be something that's very important. What about a situation where a senior might not have people around them that they necessarily trust or can count on? Would you want the same person to be able to pull the plug, for instance, that has control of your finances and maybe getting ready to inherit a lot of money?
Well, I think you have to give a lot of thought to it. You need a lot of advice. A lot of people don't think about that. They just automatically say, well, my 3 children and so forth. But you really need to have counsel. And
I think you need to give those things some serious thought, right? And most people do have, they know off the top of their head who their trusted person is in their family, that one, son or daughter who can make decisions. Obviously, maybe their husband or wife, and then put some alternates in there to come in off the bench. So I guess the Panthers could have some good subs to go in there, and that's how you plan, right?
I've got some other players, but I think he was the one that they were really counting on.
Right.
So,
something else in the news right now, I'm looking at foxnews.com. Erica bears down. Florida declares state of emergency. That's Hurricane Erica. I think it's the first storm or hurricane to hit Florida in the last 10 years. It's also another important anniversary. It's the anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. 10-year anniversary.
That's right.
Another 10
That's
there. Ironic, yes. 10-year anniversary right now of Hurricane Katrina. So, you're talking about an unexpected situation. I guess they saw it coming, but they didn't understand the devastation. I guess nobody did, or didn't react accordingly. I guess depending on what.
There were some bad decisions made.
Some bad decision making.
It was worse than they ever predicted.
Poor planning.
Yeah.
There was really poor planning.
What about all the school buses that could have gotten people out of there? Never moved.
Shut down an entire state, right? And the entire nation was fixated on the Superdome and everything going on in Katrina.
They were totally unprepared.
Yeah, absolutely. Where a huge hurricane's bearing down on a city that's built below sea level. A number of places, yeah.
And has historically had some horrible hurricanes.
Right.
They're unexpected events, and then there are the events that are coming. It's just a matter of when. And Florida's had 10 years before they've had one like this that's coming, so they were probably complacent and, not really made the planning they should have.
So it's important to plan so you don't get wiped out. If you're a city, you're a state, or you're an individual, you're a senior, you want to plan to protect your hard-earned money and property, right?
That's right.
Who's your MVP then? What's your MVP? It could be
when you were talking about the subject for the show, I was thinking about that, and my first thought was my husband. He's the primary breadwinner.
Sure.
Or he makes a little more than I do. So, he's the one that pays the bills and so forth. But then I think, if something happens, my children are going to be there. They're my most valuable players. They'll make sure mom's taken care of. So I guess it's the kids.
Okay. So it could be your husband, could be the kids, but might want to work them into the whole plan, right? Sounds like you need to talk about that.
They all have a place.
Sure.
Yeah.
On the team. And you guys have worked hard to maybe acquire some properties. You want to move to protect. For some people, their most their MVP of their estate plan might be their home, right? I mentioned that I had a blog post that was getting ready to go out. That should be up on the site right now, it's entitled "Who Wants to Know the Basic Differences in Different Deeds to Compare and Contrast?" Question mark, question mark, question mark. And then, me, right? Because that's me. I want to know the difference, right? And other people might be like, that's a dry legal article, but it's really not. You need to go up there and check it out, mclraw.com, so you know what different, just even very affordable deed options you have to protect your hard-earned money and property. And what's the difference in a ladybird deed, or a tenants in common deed, or a joint tenancy deed, or a traditional life estate deed?
The article could tell you it's not a one-sentence answer.
It's not a one-sentence answer, and the article can certainly tell you, right? Milton, I appreciate everybody out there who listens to us on Friday and is sitting on the porch drinking coffee or hanging out in the house and or working, either one. And we appreciate our fans and listeners. And as a courtesy, we want to offer a free consultation to anyone who wants to discuss more. Maybe if they want me to review their current estate plan, their will package, or if they want to talk about some deed planning or really how to protect their hard-earned money and property in their senior years or going into their senior years for themselves and their families. Love to sit down with them and offer it as a free service to our listeners. Call the office, code word radio. Our number is 704-259-7040. And we will schedule you an appointment. We'll sit down with people many times and just go over things and tell them and reassure them that what they have is adequate or will work, the way they want it is legal under the law, under the rules. Or, I'll make suggestions here and there where I see holes in their game plan, okay? And where they can maybe protect their MVP, right? And or have a deeper bench, help them with their team and their game plan, so they can do some protection.
Different players for different positions. Sometimes you need to assess that.
That's a good point. So for your property right now, would it be better to have just a general warranty deed, a ladybird deed, a tenants in common deed, or a joint tenancy with rights to survivorship?
They just do different things. There's no right answer.
Okay.
And these conferences or these consults that you get are free and there's no obligation. It's worth sitting down and just talking and letting you review the documents they have or the decisions that they're making. There's no way to do it on the radio. You can't talk about your personal finances or anything like that on the radio, so that's what that's for.
Speaking, we're talking about the Panthers and the unfortunate accident of Mr. Benjamin, and hope he gets better as soon as possible. He comes back to play, but do you think we should put a defensive lineman in there to play his position as wide receiver?
That doesn't sound right.
No?
No.
You don't think we should put a big offensive lineman in there that's 300 pounds, 6'5"?
No, somebody out there help me. I don't know that much about football. I can read what's on the
I'm going to say that
Google.
person probably wouldn't run as fast as the wide receiver, be as quick, catch as well.
Right.
They're skilled at doing something else. And same with the deed planning we're talking about in that article we just posted online on our website, mclverlaw.com. You want the right player for the position. You want the right tool for the job. And you were saying, it could be one of any. When I sit down, I'm going to say, look, it needs, in my opinion, it needs to be this, or this.
You were talking to a family this morning about whether to do a ladybird deed on one piece of property and another type of issue with the other.
Or just transfer. That's true. So, for instance, if you're planning for a Medicaid situation, you may do a tenants in common deed, which is where you piece out 1% of a property and gift it to a family member, say your child, okay, or children. And then that's, for instance, not countable under a nursing home Medicaid or long-term care Medicaid situation, where there's a 5-year look-back period, okay? That's a different deed you can use for planning purposes, okay? But under a VA, a tenants planning purpose, we might want to just go ahead and gift, say, a property that's down the road from your home, where you have a small rental on there. You might want to keep that in the family. There might be some farmland. But you could deed that directly to a family member or to a child to move that asset and have it not count because there's no look-back period for veterans for VA aid and attendance planning, where you can get an extra income per month when you need it to take care of in-home care or pay for nursing home or assisted living care. An individual veteran can get up to around $1,750 per month. They just have to have served one day during a wartime event. And they don't have to be in the thick of battle, they just have to be within the military somewhere on planet Earth during that time.
Yeah.
So it's
if you have
different.
any questions about that,
It's different situations, okay? Require different tools for the job. Just like different players are fit for different positions on a football field.
And each circumstance determines that. You can't just in general say this is right for this piece of property. Under Medicaid it might be, and under aid and attendance it might not. So
that's correct. And you have to know what tool to use for the job. And that's just an example. I mean, we use a lot of other types of tools, not just deeds, as well.
Well, I want my property to go to my children.
Right?
I want to make sure that if I go, like 70% of us do, into long-term care, that is protected as inheritance for our children.
Let's talk about how that might happen. There's two ways off the top of my head I think you might do that. Actually, there's three. Okay? Traditionally, and even now, we might want to use what I call a traditional life estate deed. Traditional life estate deed has been around for years and years and years and years and years. And I'm going to look it on. I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. Or off out of the article. States, let's see, on the traditional life estate deed. The property can be passed automatically to the remainder beneficiary without having to go through probate. So it's going to pass directly to the grantees on the deed. The life tenant, and the senior is going to reserve a life estate for themselves so that, say, a husband and wife control it until the last one of them passes away. The life tenant can also maintain complete control of the property while he or she is still alive. Liens are not usually attached to the real estate if the deed is recorded after the death of the life. So how about this? You can use those deeds to avoid liens attaching to property because you split the interest. And then say the kids, just like a beneficiary on life insurance property, get it if you pass it. Unlike a ladybird deed, to contrast it, for instance, which is what this article does, it doesn't avoid a look-back period for Medicaid planning purposes. So, but if you're in good health going into your senior years, using life estate deeds to go ahead and put beneficiaries on your